Many were cut down along the banks of the Euphrates as the defeated Persian troops attempted to flee. Those who managed to cross did so in small scattered groups, abandoning armor and supplies in the frantic attempt to escape the collapse of their line. When the shouting faded and the last pockets of resistance were silenced, the battlefield revealed the cost of the engagement. Bodies lay thick near the chained line where the Persian heavy infantry had made their stand, and the ground bore the marks of the swirling cavalry clashes that had raged along the wings. Khalid did not linger long on the field. The objective of the campaign was not simply destruction, but the opening of the route into Iraq. The cities beyond the frontier were wealthy, fortified, and tied into the administrative system of the Sassanid Empire. Each would have to be taken or compelled into submission if Iraq was to fall. Khalid reorganized his army, tended to the wounded, redistributed captured equipment, and set off toward the most important prize in the region, the city of Al-Hira. Al-Hira was no insignificant town. It had once been the capital of the Lakhmid Arab client kingdom under the Sassanids, a realm that had served as a buffer between Persia and the nomadic tribes of Arabia. Though its formal independence had been dissolved decades earlier, it retained its importance as a cultural and military hub. Its population included Arab Christians, Persian administrators, and craftsmen, whose livelihoods depended on the trade that flowed through the Euphrates basin. The fall of such a place would carry political weight far beyond its walls. News of the defeat at the Chains reached Al-Hira before Khalid arrived. The Persian garrison commanders held hurried councils, weighing whether to attempt a defense or negotiate. Their circumstances were unenviable. The garrisons farther north were too distant to reinforce them quickly, and the defeat of Hormozd shattered any confidence in holding the open plain. Still, Al-Hira had walls, and walls could buy time and leverage for negotiation. When Khalid and his forces approached the city, they found its gates closed and its defenders manning the battlements. The Euphrates ran alongside parts of the settlement, and canals and gardens surrounded other portions, making a direct assault costly. Khalid established a siege perimeter and began probing the defenses, testing the response of the garrison with brief sorties and arrow volleys. The defenders answered with arrows of their own and signaled defiance with trumpets from the walls. For several days, the two sides observed one another in a tense stalemate. Khalid did not rush his assault. He sent envoys to the city, reminding its leaders of the fate of other frontier garrisons that resisted. He also offered terms that would preserve life and property in exchange for tribute and political submission to Medina. This combination of pressure and incentive was a hallmark of his approach throughout the Iraq campaign. Siege warfare was expensive, and Khalid preferred negotiated submission when it served the strategic goal. Inside the walls, the leaders of Al-Hira debated. Many among the Arab Christian nobility understood that religion alone did not dictate political allegiance in their region. Their loyalty had once been to the Lakhmid kings, and after that to the Sassanid governors. With the Persians now beaten in the field and unlikely to return in strength soon, the calculation shifted. Holding out might bring ruin, while surrendering under terms could preserve wealth and position. After negotiations that stretched through multiple exchanges, the gates of Al-Hira opened. The garrison agreed to pay tribute and accept the new political arrangement. Khalid entered the city not as an indiscriminate conqueror, but as a commander, enforcing a settlement that preserved order. Property was not looted. The churches were left standing, and the local aristocracy retained their homes and estates. In return, the city paid taxes into the Muslim treasury and recognized the authority of Medina. The fall of Al-Hira sent ripples along the Euphrates Valley. If a city of this stature could be taken without a prolonged siege or sack, then the next towns and garrisons might surrender as well. Khalid sent detachments to secure surrounding villages and canals, ensuring that food and water could reach his army. Scouts were dispatched northward to observe Persian movements. On the Persian side, alarm spread. If the frontier cities fell, The road to Ctesiphon, the capital of the Sassanid Empire, could be opened. But the Persians were not finished. There were still regional commanders, armies gathering along the river, and nobles who would not allow Iraq to fall without further resistance. Ahead lay the battles of Namarak, Kaskar, and Buwaib, each presenting new challenges in tactics and terrain.